Okay, hello. Welcome everybody. What day are we on? A Tuesday night chat and Soothe. We're going to tune in as we do so that we can see what we're going to tune into, what we're going to bring into our awareness today. So just rubbing our palms and then starting to settle in, press the palms together, bring them to your heart center. Feel that centeredness, taking your attention inward on purpose, pulling your awareness in, tuning into your breath, tuning into your energy, your mood, your state of being, starting to pay attention. Let's connect with that beautiful golden sunrise. Feel the energy of a new opportunity, of the new potential. Feel every cell uplifted by the rising sun. And as you inhale, draw the light directly into the heart center. Suspend the breath at your heart to allow it to expand. And as you exhale, send the light through the crown like a fountain all around you. Make it big. Move your awareness up, inhaling into the throat center. Suspend the breath. Connect to your communication and your truth. And as you exhale, send the light through the crown like a fountain all around you. Moving your awareness up, inhaling into the third eye, frontal lobe, pituitary gland, pineal gland, your nervous system. And exhale through the crown like a fountain. Clear out your space, harmonize your space. Inhaling one more time into the center, into your heart. Suspend the breath, pull root lock, rub your palms, inhale a little more if you can. Get some heat, get some light. And then cup the palms in front of or over your eyes, whatever's comfortable, and exhale, hold it out for a moment. Silence. Inhale, hold. Hold it, nourish yourself. Remember, everything I need is within me. Remind yourself. And as you exhale, float the palms down and flutter your eyes open into your space. Good. Okay, welcome guys. Thank you for joining me on this evening. I just thought I would do a little check-in, a little, like I do, reminders, themes that have been in my awareness and that I have been myself working on or working with or paying attention to. And, I always like to have some practical tips or things that I've been applying or, things that I've been doing that I find have a good experience or good help for me, or things that I have shared with others also that they have applied or, are working with, and they feel uplifted or changed or more aware, because as you know, what do we always talk about? Awareness. It's really, I'm going to say a lot of the same things. It's, of course, reminders as usual, the reminders of what are you doing here? Like, what is this? What are you doing? And what is your point? What do I always say? Yeah, what's your point? What are you doing here? And what are you spending your time doing? And not just doing. What are you spending your time being? Like, who are you being in your time, whatever you're doing in your own life experience, right? So what does this mean? So bringing awareness means, of course, like, you all know, paying attention, just paying attention to yourself, paying attention to where your thoughts have gone, where your emotions have gone. You know, what's your attitude? What's your mood towards something? How you approaching something? You know, how is this thing out here? What is my reaction to that? How am I handling this? How am I reacting to this? Just, you know, I know it is, it's a constant thing, you know, and I want it to become really like part of who you are, is the observer. Because once you have that, then the other stuff, like applying whatever it is or deciding what you're going to do next, comes a little bit or a lot easier if you're aware. If you're not aware, if you've fallen into unconsciousness, if you forgot, if you are being back to being hard on yourself, or if you're, you know, not taking care of yourself in the most loving way, with your thoughts and your emotions, if you're back to that, or if you are still in that, then it's challenging to make a change and have it stick. Like, notice that, you know, you're having different outcomes or different, different experiences. If you are, obviously, if you're in unconsciousness, but especially being hard on yourself, you know, not the most loving to yourself. And so, and I want to say about that is also, so the awareness, right? You're aware, or you're paying attention, you're trying to just discern things, like what is actually happening here. This is where I know there's some people, they have awareness, okay? And okay, so you have awareness, but then there's still this part, like I've said it many times, that is still putting some kind of reason or, I don't know, it's still putting the power, the reason, I don't know how I want to say it really, but like out there on about somebody else or something else. And it's not that. That's what I want, the awareness, your awareness and your love for yourself to show you that. I'm gonna try to give an example because like I know what I mean, but I don't know if it's clear. So like, you can have an awareness of something that is not wanted, like you don't like it, you know, something is going on and you don't like it. And there's still sometimes this part where if it involves another person, which most often this is where people get hung up, but it can also be life circumstances, experiences, those kind of things. When it involves another person, I still see and can feel where people are making it a judgment on the other. Like, how could they do that? Or trying to think of a real good one, but like I'm not really coming up with it, but just to stay with me, like a judgment on them. Like something happened and you don't like it, or something's happening, you don't like it. And it's like something about them. Now, look it, I am not going to say whether it's whatever they are, like whether it's about them or not, you know, or whether they did that thing or didn't do that thing. But the reason that you are upset is not about them. That's what I want you to know. It is what you are saying about yourself. So if, you know, you're saying like they, like, I don't know, they're doing something, right? And then you have a judgment about them and then you leave it out there. What do I always say? You're leaving it out there on the table. You're just leaving it out there. And like, that's somehow in the moment satisfying for you because you came to the conclusion they're messed up, you know, they got trauma, they got this, they got that, whatever. So It's, it's fine. I'm okay. It's about them. Which, listen, this is what I'm saying. In a certain way of looking at it, that could be true. I'm not saying that that's not true from whatever level of consciousness or whatever observation, whatever perspective you're taking. Could be true. But in this game of enlightenment, expansion, self-awareness, mastery, like again, what I'm saying in the bottom line, what are you doing here? What is your point? Why are you having this life experience? What is your, what would you like to experience from your life, from this reality that you're in every single day, waking up, doing these things? Like, what are you doing? What would you like? What would feel good? What would be interesting? And those things, whatever it is you say that you would like or, experience, when you have things like that, that's about them, and it could be true or not true, and you leave it out there on the table and you don't take it back to say, what am I really mad about? Or what am I really upset? Or what's really getting me? What's the real reason? It's coming up because I've had a few people like tell me some things that happened. And I'm like, what is it? Like, what is it? What's bothering you? Like, what is still sticking with you? And when they answered, what did they say? Well, I just can't believe that they would do this. Okay, that may well be true, but why does that bother you? People do weird shit every day. Like, who cares? I mean, there's lots of layers to this because first of all, it's like, the layers. Okay, what was your expectations? What is your story about this person? What is your gathered evidence that now this outcome is matching, that you weren't probably paying attention to? You aren't paying attention, that you got the exact outcome or the exact thing with this person that you already had a story about. First of all, okay, remember, like, the people, the experiences are only fulfilling the already conscious or unconscious practice stories you have for them, right? Remember? So that's one part that you could be decoding or becoming aware of for yourself so that you don't have to do that again. Or I mean, when you do it again, you realize, oh, there I go. Yeah, exactly. I did think that. I thought they were flaky. I got flakiness. It's okay. I just didn't do anything to change the story, which again, like I've told you before, you don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to. If it's not really bothering you, if it's not a big deal, then so what? The part that I'm getting to is the part about you. If it's bothering you, if you keep bringing it up, if your mind keeps wanting to go to it, you have to say to yourself, what do I think that this is saying about me? So what is my concept of myself based on this experience? Must be, because I'm mad or I'm upset. So for instance, this example, I just can't believe that they would do that. Or like, how could they do that? Like, what kind of a person does that or whatever? And I was like, that's not it. I was like, that's not why you're mad. That's not it. What is it saying about you that they could do that? Which, by the way, they weren't doing that. But if they could what is that saying about you? I am not worthy. I wasn't valuable. I'm not worth it. That's it. That bingo, ding, ding, ding. There you go. So you gotta uncover. You don't have to. Again, you do whatever you want. I'm offering some things because if there's some things that are stuck, or if you realize, I really am not that satisfied with the answer, with that outcome, with the judgment of this situation, because they are an idiot or because they are, traumatized and they, whatever, like if that's not satisfying to you anymore, because it's, still just leaving it out there, and then you didn't change your story, and maybe you didn't revise it, and you didn't like clean it up for yourself, just for yourself, to keep yourself on the track of self-mastery, self-awareness, continuing to keep yourself on your toes with this awareness game, with this expansion, with this, what else can I do here? Let's see, this is interesting. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we can do. That's me. I'm like, let me see what I can do right here, because this ain't it. So let me see. And then I play around with all these different things. But this one thing I've said it, I know I've had this talk before in a different way probably, but you know, similar thing, that this one thing of like, what is that? What is that? What do I think that that is saying about me? And then I'm going to discover that, uncover that, and then you can look at it. And I do find it helpful to write it down. I do. For people who are becoming aware, if you're still noticing these kinds of things, or, you know, maybe there's just a couple of those, or something where you're like, yeah, you know, I can think of something where it is about me, and let me discover what I think it is about me. What am I saying about me? Or what do I think they're saying about me? But whatever they're saying about you is what you're saying about you. That's it. So you could write it down and look at it. I am not worthy. Is this true? Is it true? You already know the answer. Like, just why are you letting these things be hidden underneath this facade of about somebody else? And you let it stay under there, and they're festering, and it's causing other things in your life to not be aligned, or to not work out, or to whatever it is, or you're having, because it's not in one place. That concept of self is going to be in other places as well. So you want to discover this, you want to face this, you want to look at it and say, is this true? And like, I mean, you might say, yeah, then call yourself out. Why? Why do I think this is true? Where is my evidence that I'm not worthy? What did I do? What's so bad about me? You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. So you can call yourself out. And then once you get to that thing, you can flip it. Then you can say, well, what concept would I prefer to hold about myself? What would I prefer to be saying about myself? I am worthy, or I love myself, or, you know, people value me, or I am of value to this world. Like, can you get to those places? And if you can't say that, again, like I've said before, why? That's something you gotta fix that. Yeah, you just got to fix it, because you know it's not true. You know it's not true. You know, I am. You are the operant power. You are love. You're pure love. You're here to have this awakening experience, this enlightening experience of this reality, whatever it is, being in amnesia, having all this struggle, and whatever this weird mess of world is, the furnaces of affliction. For what? To wake up to who you truly are. But if you are leaving who you are saying that you are, hidden under the muck, under the dust, under the illusions of separation of someone else, of somebody as the bad guy, then, you know, you're kind of mucking around in that for a little while, I would say. So hopefully you can relate with that, or it will come up and you can apply that and think, yeah, this is about me. Now let me find out what it is. And like I said before, you take the other out of the equation. You take them out of the equation. Like, thank you for being a catalyst for my growth. Thank you for showing me where I need to look, you know, or you can thank yourself, like, thanks, you know, I'm paying attention. Thankfully, I'm paying attention. And now I can look where I need to look. That wasn't even what I came to talk about. So somebody must have needed to hear that, because here it is. Okay. That wasn't even the plan. I don't really always have a plan, but I have seen some themes, and that truthfully is a theme. You know, we all can fall into it. And I just want us all to be aware, on alert for those little hidden lack or self concept kind of down, and we can flip it and yeah, smooth things out. The other thing that has been coming up is this conversation about harmony, one of my favorite words, harmony and disharmony. Things that are feel good, that are aligned, that are calm, that are energizing, that are light filled, and things that are not. And there's been several people expressing to me that they just can't take it. The world, not the world, but they can't take it, things around them or when people around them are disharmonious. Like it's very, very challenging. Like it feels hurtful, like it might not even be directed towards them. They just might be in the space with this disharmony or this chaos, or I say chaos, that sounds crazy, but chaos to me is like arguing or, you know, slamming something or harsh words or whatever. That's disharmonious energy, right? And there's a lot of people saying, you know, it's very hard, like it's very challenging. The more, and I want to say that it's okay. I understand, it's okay. There's a few things. First of all, of course, you know, of course, that's not, as we are becoming more aware, as you're becoming more aligned, as you're becoming more attuned to harmony, order, rhythm, all of these things. Like I've said, anything that is not that is very recognizable. Now, when you are, most of the people that have said this to me, I don't know what their daily practices are, okay? When you have a daily practice with harmony, with order, with awareness, with all of these things, attuning yourself, keeping yourself in that field, creating that field and being in the field of nature, of harmony, of all of those things, then you're usually okay. Like a little bit of, you know, disorder or whatever, it's like your harmony, your order, your rhythm, your coherence, your love sort of smooths it out. It doesn't mean like you want to be, or I don't want to be around, I don't want to be around crowds that are loud and chaotic and stuff like that. But I'm not like, ooh, like it doesn't like hurt me. You know what I mean? I don't want to stay there for hours, but I'm just saying like my harmony, my light, my order, all of that stuff that I said is like, can withstand it in a way, you know, because however, but what I'm saying is this is an active practice. I am actively doing things all the time for my nervous system, like on purpose, regulating, learning, becoming aware, and regulating my nervous system. So what I've noticed is if you're not doing that and you are a sensitive being, you're here, you're a sensitive being, and you feel the shifts in the energy, the frequency is raising, all of these things, okay? This lifting of the veil, these things that are going on as a collective. And you're not doing any practices to regulate your nervous system, I would suggest you really get on that. You know, it's what I notice is they get dysregulated, you know, like something happens, dysregulates your nervous system, sets you out of harmony, and then it kind of passes and you think you're okay. You don't regulate your nervous system, you don't strengthen your nervous system, you don't even probably become aware of your nervous system, just that you had a little reaction, like, you know, when someone cuts you off in traffic or there's almost an accident, you have that, you know, like that, like some kind of dysregulation, and then it kind of gets swept away or it's over and you regulate yourself and then you just go on. Well, that adds up. That adds up. If you're not doing anything to regulate your nervous system, that can add up. Look, I'm just saying, if you're not aware, and you're not always aware, you know, and stuff happens. Or if you're watching like TV or even listening to the radio, some of the music, like it's not harmonious. It's not a harmonious thing. So like I always say, What are you doing with your time? I know you probably have a job or you have a family, you have things to do, but there's a lot of time there when you have a moment or you have some moments, and like pay attention what you're doing. If you're scrolling on social media or whatever, that's probably not a nervous system regulator. I'd say it's not, most likely, unless you're looking at some like nature or sounds, or you're doing some meditation on there, something like that. But usually that's not what we're just like scrolling through. So like in those times, even if you are preparing a meal or you are driving somewhere, you could have harmonious music playing, classical music, frequencies, sound bowls, something. And your intention with what you're doing, or even paying attention to your thoughts, you could repeat a lovely phrase in your thoughts. You could take 5-10 minutes and go on a nature walk, a neighborhood walk, a nature walk. Just doesn't have to be like out in the forest. Just walk in your neighborhood and look at the nature and tune into the energy of the nature. Like a gratitude walk. Like, I'm so grateful for the perfection of this tree. Look at how every blade of grass is there growing. I know it sounds like maybe for some people that's like, yeah, whatever. Try it. Try it. See what happens. Just go with it. See. So like, what are you doing with your time? And are you actively aware of soothing, harmonizing, aligning, nurturing, repairing, like whatever's happened to you, your nervous system? So think about it, sound, nam, that's why we chant. That's why it's for your vagus nerve, it's for your nervous system. It's putting your tone, your frequency, your words in the field in a harmonious, orderly, coherent, lovely way. Um, just you have to be aware. And especially, like this is, I'm doing this without anything really rattling my nervous system. Like really, I'm just doing this stuff all the time. So like, that's what I choose to do in my time. I may go to a restorative yoga class, or I have these yoga massage balls. I may like massage or, do a little routine for my low back or my thighs or my shoulders or something that's tense. When you're holding tension in your body, if you actively decide to shift it, and like, this is what I'm saying too, with your intention. You go on the walk with an intention. You do the class with an intention. You do the massaging with an intention. I am soothing. I am nurturing myself. I am harmonizing my being. I'm harmonizing my nervous system. Shift your tone, listen to my tone, shift the way you're speaking, like soothe yourself. You have to learn to, or remember, because you already know all this stuff. Remember to soothe yourself. It's very, very important. It's very, very important, because somehow over these past couple of years, especially, not to be putting the thing on the outside, it's highlighted a lot of things for us that we have to be aware of. A lot of people's nervous systems are a little bit fried, taxed, dysregulated. Let's say it like that. They're just disharmonious, dysregulated. So thinking about that, what am I actively doing with intention to harmonize my nervous system, to harmonize my system, to regulate my nervous system, to soothe and nurture myself? Very, very important. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, this is for you, okay? Build it into your day. It is important for you, okay? Even putting your feet in the grass for 10 minutes, or the ground, wherever, the sand, if you're fortunate to be at the beach, or in the water, with the intention, like, just set anything you're doing. You could, you know what? You could set the intention. If you're this good, okay, you can be good. You could say, with every sip of this water, every sip of my water today, I'm soothing my nervous system. You see what I'm saying? You could do it in so many ways. Get creative and see what happens. See if it works for you. That's what I'm saying. You have to kind of like believe it. You have to know what you're doing and then apply it and then see your, your results. But yeah, like I'm going to try that tomorrow just for fun. With every sip of this water, I'm more and more radiant, or my nervous system is shining and harmonious and helping me out. Something like that. Make it work for you. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to, because you might say, oh, Joe, I don't have any time. Well, I don't have any time for that. So that's like, like, what am I going to do? Yeah, do that. Figure something out. There's so many things that you could do. You make it up. You are the operant power. It's on you. Whatever you believe is true is true. And persist, like keep doing it until you really believe it. If you don't believe it, it's true. What I'm saying is true. If you persist in it, if you make something that feels good to you, make it feel good to you, yeah, and then apply it. Okay. So that was something I really wanted to address, because I am saying, like, I am doing all of the things. I'm doing all of the things. All of the things. Maybe I will put a list in this underneath this video or whatever. I'll put some suggestions again so you remember all of the things and most of the things that I'm doing for myself. Should I say it again? Very important. Okay. It's very important. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is an oldie but a goodie. We've heard it before. You've heard it once. You've heard it before. Fear. I want to talk about fear. I don't need to talk about it for a long time, but I just want to remind us all that, again, sometimes there's something going on, and like what I talked about, just the first thing I talked about, when you're putting it out there, like it could have to do with someone else. Well, there's an element of fear involved in that as well, because the fear is that I don't have control over this, that's about somebody else. So I'm afraid that I can't do anything about it, or that nothing's going to change. That's one thing. But then there's also sometimes like a fear, like something is going on and you're anxious or you're worried, and same, it's a fear. Okay. And I have it still too. There are things in my life that sometimes I notice, like, oh, maybe it's not like fear, like a full-blown fear, but I have worry about it. There is something that is like got me challenged in that moment. Mostly, especially comes with if you have a child or children, could be a partner, could be an animal, something that you seem to think that you're taking care of, like that you're in charge of taking care of. That's where I notice is like my last little like thorn in my side that would be like, oh, you're scared, you're afraid, you're worried. So the first thing with that is, yeah, regulating yourself, getting yourself to a clearer space, the best that you can, so that you can ask those questions or face yourself. You have to face it. You have to call it out and look at it, just like the concept of self. Like, again, it relates to that too, because it's like, okay, I'm afraid. What is this? What am I saying about myself? That I'm not the operant power? If I'm afraid, that means I don't think that I'm the operant power, or I'm not like convicted, confident in who I am. And that's like maybe a tough pill to swallow, because there's some things it's like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm, again, like I always say, in integrity with myself. In integrity with myself, I do know some things. I'm like, well, I'm not there. Yeah, like I technically know that I'm the operant power, But then I don't, because if I'm afraid and I feel like, yeah, there's nothing that I can do. And that's just not true. So we know that that's not true. So in integrity with myself, I still may know that I have something reserved, like I have the fear or the worry is still there. At the same time, because I've been practicing this, because I know how to apply, because I regulate my nerves, because I'm doing all these things, I still will do what it is I know how to do to shift that, what I'm giving life to. Because when I have a fear or worry, I know that I'm giving it life. I'm the one giving it life, not the thing over there, not the whatever that is, whatever I think it's coming, whatever could get me or her or whatever. I'm giving it life. I'm putting my attention on it. And we may think, because we're trained that way, that you have to pay attention to that. You have to take precautions, or, and I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? Use your discernment and an integrity with yourself. If you know there's a fear there, yeah, you take precaution. Yeah, you take care of yourself. You use discernment and you do what it is you have to do, but not out of fear. If you're acting out of fear, you're really just putting a beacon, like, this is it. Like, here's the beacon of fulfill my feeling, or fulfill my belief here of this fear. And you don't want that. And I'm not trying to scare you with that either. It's not about being afraid. It's about being in integrity, using discernment, and actively putting life into what is wanted. And you know me, I like to keep it simple, right? So, like, my little catchphrases, like right away, like all life everywhere loves and supports me, or everyone is looking out for me, everyone is taking care of me, or with regards to, if it's about someone else, like all life everywhere loves and supports them. They are always protected and loved, and there's always people around to help, and everyone's always looking out for us. You soothe yourself into what you want to give life to. Do you see how this plays into the thing I just talked about? If your nervous system is dysregulated, or you're nervous ninny, or you've reacted to all these things, and you don't have harmony or order, you can't easily find it, you don't know what that feels like, you see how hard it would be to release fear, or to choose something else, to start focusing on something else and giving your energy to that, rather than to the issue, or the seeming problem, or the seeming boogeyman, or the thing that could get you or them or whatever, you know what I mean? It's a lot more challenging. That's why I'm saying practical tips and, whatever, my experience, to say, regulate yourself, get yourself into harmony, soothe yourself, so that when the challenges or the unconsciousness that we have, life happens, you are able to apply the wisdom that it is that is the truth. It's the only, you don't be hard on yourself, you don't get down on yourself, you're not like doing it wrong. You just have to take care of yourself, so that you can do it with that full conviction, with that love, with that awareness, with that calm confidence, with that strong container. Like, I know who I am. I feel this, yes, but this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do. And when you overcome yourself, when you overcome those things, you gain even more confidence. It's part of this awareness, enlightenment, expansion. It's part of it. It feels so good. I know that part doesn't necessarily feel good, but if you look at it as the, like I've said, even those other people, whatever they are, catalyst, like this is my catalyst for knowing for being convicted and knowing who I am. This is my catalyst to apply this wisdom. I get a chance to overcome and gain even more confidence, even more power, even more inspiration with my own self, my own deeds, my own choices. You know, it's really good. It's really good. Okay, that's my spiel. I trust that it landed somewhere and that there are things that you can apply. Let's just do one or two things together so that we can integrate and soothe ourselves, bring ourselves thinking about that harmony. You know, with every breath I take, I feel more and more harmonious, more and more blissful, more and more aligned, right? Okay, we're going to do this breath that I'm really liking lately, this little practice of slowing yourself all the way down, as slow as you can, like through your nose. You close your eyes, you tune in, you start to tune in to the breath, the air flowing through your nostrils. And then you're doing your best to take your time, there's no rush, and just slow down. Like it's like if someone was watching you, they wouldn't see you breathing. They wouldn't know that you were breathing. You're still taking a full deep breath. It's just normally when I instruct to take a full deep breath, we go kind of fast. If you're not aware, we go kind of fast. Me too. I mean, that we're not doing this at that time, but now we are. So when you're thinking about a full deep breath, you're just slowing it right down, like you don't want to disturb any hair in your nose. And you're integrating and you're soothing and you're slowing it down, and even the exhale slowed down almost to the point, well, not almost, to the point where you feel like you want to take a deep breath, like you need more air. But use your discipline, use your regulation, use your awareness to just regulate yourself. Keep the slow breathing. Enjoy the sensations. Tune into your energy, your field. So bright, so coherent, so perfect, so divine. Maybe you can become aware and notice which side of your nose feels more open. Tune in because it may be close. You're not sure. And it doesn't really matter, but whatever side you choose that you feel is more closed, just close off that nostril with your finger and continue the slow breath through the open nostril. Go ahead and release your finger. Slow, but not super slow, but a nice deep breath. And exhale. And just sit quietly. Bring your hands on your heart and just sit quietly and observe. Observe yourself. What do you notice? How do you feel? What is my state of being? Just surrendering, relaxing, surrendering to love, allowing love to wash through your whole being, every cell, every space in between. Love. your whole existence. Love and harmony. Feel yourself. Love and harmony. Harmony and love. Tune into your sweetness, the sweetness of your being. Your powerful nature. The power of your awareness, of your decision. I remember. Tell yourself, I remember. Bring your hands to prayer. I remember. I am. Inhale for love, peace, and light. Love before me. Love behind me. Love at my left. Love at my right. Love above me. Love below me. Love in me. Love in my surroundings. Love to all. Love to the universe. Inhale. Peace before me. Peace behind me. Peace at my left. Peace at my right. Peace above me. Peace below me. Peace in me. Peace in my surroundings. Peace to all. Peace to the universe. Inhale. Light before me. Light behind me. Light at my left. Light at my right. Light above me. Light below me. Light in me. Light in my surroundings. Light to all. Light to the universe. Inhale for Om Shanti. Om Shanti. 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 Thank you guys for joining me. Have the most beautiful sleep.
Gracias, Jody.
Gracias.